In this video, where I'll have two decks, light side and dark side, working together to achieve an unlike a Star Wars CCG outcome. The featured card is Our Most Desperate Hour. I've had mixed success with this card in tournaments, actually. There's kind of a loophole in the rules with Outrider that allows you to place this card out of play after using it, so the dark side can't grab it and reduce your force retrieval. But the key here is after you complete this objective, which is pretty easy, you can do it in one turn. You deploy the effect on Alderaan and target somebody at the Tatooine system and just hyperspeed them over that same turn. You can retrieve a bunch of force. So I've retrieved, force in the teens at some point. Sometimes you don't want too many characters on the table because you can't afford to pay for the retrieval lots of times. Now, I tried to put every single character that had ability of 4 or more in this deck. Obviously, there's like multiple versions of Obi-Wans. There's only one Obi-Wan. But I'm trying to see how high I could get the retrieval if I use all the ability 4, 5, and 6 characters that would, or 4 and above characters that would be legally possible to put to a deck. There's just too many ability 3 characters for this to work, I suppose. To have all the ability 3 characters, you could have a starting location, that effect, and then 58 characters, but that would be kind of boring. I thought of a fun way to do this kind of quickly, or at least I think it was fun. So we'll take a look here and see what I did with that. So there are quite a few ability 4 and higher characters, and a lot of them are pretty expensive to deploy. We want squadron assignment so we can get Luke on the ship. Luke is going to be our featured character. And I was lucky enough to get the starting key card in my hand. I actually have a few copies in the deck. The key here is when the opponent draws a destiny of 5, the light side can deploy a character for free. And since I'm playing both decks right now, I'm playing both the light side and dark side decks. It's pretty easy to make sure that the dark side won't be drawing much more other than a 5. So Krennic is out for free. That's nice for the light side because he can then be the trigger for 4 luck. So now the light side can take an extra card into hand each turn just to build their hand size quicker. There sure are a lot of characters. We also have Figrin D'En who's going to come out. C-3PO is going to help us get our hand size of 2. It costs 2 force to deploy, but it's not too bad. Tauntaun Bones. There's only a couple of non-5s in the dark side deck, but so hopefully we don't draw any of those. I think there's actually just 1 3 in the dark side deck. 3 is the disaster one. If we draw a 3, then I have to lose the effect. Otherwise, whatever happens isn't that big of a deal. Lose 1 force, I can deal with that. That's no problem. But yeah, 3 having to lose the effect, that would be a major bummer. I have other copies, but that kind of sets you back a turn. It's nice to be able to deploy an alien, and he can do some wagers. So we want the dark side and light side, well, mostly the dark side, drawing as many destinies as possible. Every time they draw a destiny, I get to deploy a card for free. So I'm going to save the expensive characters in my hand, or characters with the special text that's useful in my hand. And then the cheap characters I'm going to try to deploy using my own force. And I actually put 3 Ba'omar monks in the deck because they have ability of 4. Even though they're non-unique, they have ability of 4. They're force-sensitive non-uniques, the only ones in the game that I know of. All right, so the light side's wager total isn't that high. Dark side is going to draw a bunch of 5s. And we get to start deploying characters for free. And the other thing about this deck is that the light side doesn't have a whole bunch of 5s. the starting interrupt was. He's kind of nice because he lets me draw a card, and the bummer of it is I got another Figrin. But I can use C3PO to dump him and hopefully get another 5. And did I? Let's see. Yep, I did. I got a Kiada Mundi. I don't know why I said 5. I should have said uh, ability 4 plus character. So Rey's a good one to deploy just because she lets me look for people, and we lucked out and got a Luke there. So now Luke can come out. Just trying to deploy all the cheap ones and then draw and make sure I got a nice hand for all the free characters coming my way. There's a lot of Trinto Duabas in the deck. The other thing is I'm trying to deploy Jedi Masters when I got them because they give me extra activation as a light side. He'll equalize the icons, give me an extra icon there. Dark side wins this wager, doesn't want to retrieve because that'll send a 3 back to the deck. So it's the battle phase, and now that's the great thing about Trinto Duabi. He's a Destiny 5. So you draw Destiny, it's probably gonna be another Trinto Duaba, spoiler alert. And he lets you search the 4 spots. This is gonna let me just deploy tons and tons of characters for free. I'm gonna speed it up so it goes even faster. It's not going to be particularly surprising what goes on here. Ezra comes out. He allows me to get extra force. It's not all Toronto Duwabas. There's going to be some point men as well. This is probably going a little too fast to register, but you can see over here that he just keeps, Darkseid keeps playing Trinto Duaba. By he, I mean me, because I'm playing Darkseid here too. Keeps playing Trinto Duaba, getting all these cards out. And the light side is going to get a bunch of freebies here. And we'll get the Dan brothers at the same site. Why not? I think they're brothers. Estranged older brother of Figrin Dan. Okay. So we're gambling here. Dark side's, of course, drawing 5s. Light side's going to be risky and get a 5 back. So if they get Trinto Duapa, they're going to have to lose that card. Just trying to get the more expensive cards into hand right now, which isn't that hard to do with all those tunnel visions. I see that I got a lot of cards still there. All right. Go back to gambling. Eventually. Mara Jade. She's a card that never got released, but the image was eventually given, I guess Decipher eventually gave permission for the image, and then now it's an official virtual card. And Darkseid's gonna Trinto Duaba the hand away. Lots of Jedi coming out. Speed through this. Put it on max speed. There goes an Obi-Wan. Got an Amidala here. I never really played with the alternate image Coruscant one, so I figured I'd put that one in because it's ability of 4. Make sure I didn't put the ability 3 one in there because that would give me 1 less force. But yeah, any character who had ability of 4 or more, I put one of their personas in. Don't think I missed any. All right. Challenge now is that I still got a couple cards left. I know where Kira is, so I can use her with 4 luck. Tunnel vision just to make sure I have no others. Okay, so I have a couple others. There's 2 more, and unfortunately the effect is still in my use pile, or force pile. Oh, but look at that. I get another tunnel vision. That's all good to go. I can do my wager now, which is going to force Darkseid to draw 2 destiny. And she only costs 3. I'm going to need 4 force total. I need 1 to move Luke. So here comes Valorum. I would have wanted to get Depabalapa out earlier. She would have allowed me to draw cards for my deck, but that was just a little unlucky. There goes Depa. I guess I accidentally deployed a couple characters to this site. I wasn't really looking clearly. All right, I have just enough force for her. Our most desperate hour targets Alderaan and targets Luke. And actually, now that I think about it, I can move from Tatooine for free. So I guess I didn't need to save that 1 force. Yeah, that's Tatooine's text. You can cost -1 force to move away, and the result is 72 force retrieval. So it looks like that's 72 force retrieval. There's 36 different characters you can have that are ability 4 or more. And I was just curious how many I could get. I guess I could have just looked at the deck list and seen first, but since I like the Our Most Desperate Hour card so much, I wanted to do all of the ability 4 plus characters and see how it worked out. So not a winning strategy, but kind of an interesting thing to see, and I hope you thought it was interesting too. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you tune in for future ones.